Hi, this is Arakali, the tech editor at Forbes India. I'm here this morning with Ray Newal, the managing director of Techstars India. And Techstars has started its first accelerator program, Techstars Bangalore Accelerator, with a batch of 10 startups, which is a 13-week program. And Ray will tell us a little bit more about it. Ray, can you start by telling us a bit about Techstars India and how you went about selecting these 10 companies?
Sure. So thank you, Harry. This is the Techstars Bangalore Accelerator. This is the first Techstars program in India, the first in any emerging market. The process started last July when we opened up applications, and we had more than 1,000 companies apply to be part of Techstars. Typically, in most of our programs, about 1% of companies end up making it in. It was a pretty lengthy process. I traveled throughout India and did office hours at different venues. So met lots of startups through that whole process. And once applications closed, I believe applications closed in October, we went through the process of going through each and every application and getting to about 100 that we felt were really a good fit. So that itself is a large process because we end up spending almost 5 to 10 minutes on every application. So there's a lot of time that goes into it. And then following that, we start a process of doing phone and video interviews with each of the founding teams. And so once we got past the 100, we narrow it down to 40 or 50. I ended up narrowing it down to 50, and then we narrowed it down to 20, and then we have a selection committee, which we hold here in Bangalore. We invite between 8 to 10 people. We had quite a few people at ours, including the chief investment officer for Techstars, who's there, and Bala, who's my colleague at Techstars, and a bunch of others from the community. And then following that selection committee, we then have the tough job of having to pick 10, and so we go through a process of researching the companies and meeting with each of them and making them offers, and then trying to get them here. The program started February 4th, 2019. And yeah, it was quite a process.
When Techstars decided to come into India, and you came in last year and you started this first program, tell us a little bit about what you saw and what you see in the Indian startup scene today. That you find really exciting.
Well, the Indian startup scene is amazing. I mean, it is one of the top growing ecosystems in the world. And I've spent a lot of time in different ecosystems. I built a company here, and I'm getting to see the growth in that ecosystem over the last 10 years, and it's been amazing. The amount of talent that we have in India, coming from across India, from our awesome schools, on the tech side, on the business side, just is generating an awesome talent pool, we're seeing so much inspiration amongst founders to build companies. It's very much a time where it used to be when we were building startups that you often didn't want to tell your parents you were building a startup, whereas I feel like we're in a different time now where startups are a way for folks to kind of learn and grow as professionals, and very much accepted and embraced in the community. So a lot of good things that are happening that are making India one of the top ecosystems in the world.
About the program itself, I understand it's a 13-week accelerator program. Tell us a little bit about how the startups that make it into the list of companies that you eventually take on, how do they benefit from the program?
So they benefit a few ways. A lot of what we try to do at Techstars is take about 2 years worth of learning and growth and development, and distill it into 13 weeks. Every program is 13 weeks. The program starts with month one, which is what we call Mentor Madness. And in month one, the companies meet with anywhere between 50 to 100 mentors. In the weeks 2 and 3 of our program, we're currently in week 5, our companies had over 600 meetings with mentors from around the community, and then have continued meetings with people from around the world. So it's a pretty intense process where the founders are able to validate what they're working on. They're able to validate the market potential of their ideas. They're also really through the Socratic method getting to different types of hypothesis. One of the key features of being in a kind of very immersive process like Mentor Madness is you're talking about what you do so much, and you're just getting questions of all kinds from very different people, all smart, that are leading you to different hypotheses, and sometimes different hypotheses than you would have ever stumbled on before. So this is all part of the acceleration that happens, and then I think a lot of Techstars comes down to the connections, and the people that you're meeting through the network. We have companies that are doing very, very specific things in our batch, and getting them connected to the right people. These are people that aren't necessarily even in India. So we have this global network of 10,000 people that are part of Techstars. We're one of the most engaged networks in the world, and so we can use that network to get our companies in touch with people that they would never otherwise be able to get in connection with. So that's a big part of it too.
Excellent. Thank you so much for making time for this, Ray, and good luck with the program and running Techstars Bangalore and maybe other city programs as well.
Thank you.